Welcome to Looking at Lyme. We are going to talk education in this podcast. More specifically, how awareness leads to prevention of tick bites. We're going to speak to Lauren, who is a science teacher and resource developer. Lauren Hudson is an experienced teacher who's been taking her students into the outdoor classroom for years. She's also a parent and has her own new awareness about tick-borne illnesses. Lauren is part of our LEAP team, our Lyme Education, Awareness, and Prevention team, and we work together to create a resource specifically for teachers so that they can keep children safe when they're in the outdoors. I'm delighted to welcome her to our podcast. Hello there, Lauren.
Hi, Sarah.
I just want to say it has been so fun to work with you and our team over the past few months developing this new educator resource. I know you've done a lot of work in the past as a teacher in a lot of outdoor environments, and I'm just really thankful you're willing to come join us and learn about tick-borne illnesses because I don't think that was really on your radar before we connected.
Well, you know what, Sarah? I love life as a grand learning experience. So when things come my way and they fit values and connect neat people that I know through other connections, then I'm game.
Yeah. And, before we get into the details of the resource, I just want you to comment briefly about what your own learning process has been through this experience and maybe even how that's changed the way that I know you spend a lot of time camping with your kids and your family in the outdoors. And how has that sort of changed your mindset or your perspective and empowered you with new knowledge?
I definitely have learned so much from the team, from all of the different people that we're able to work with. Actually, I've done a lot of learning through listening to the podcasts. So it's been really kind of empowering process to be learning so much and to feel way better equipped to be outdoors and be safe from a personal level. And really, my hope is that I can help be one part of that for other people through the educator resource. So there's been so much that I've learned about the disease, about ticks. I actually studied sciences before I became an educator and a teacher. And so it was really cool to kind of dive back into the science side of it as well. So it's been a great process.
That's great. Can you walk our listeners through the concept of the educator resource? And just to clarify, too, this is just our first draft of the educator resource, and we're looking for input, and we'll release our next version of it in 2021.
Yeah, definitely. So what the resource aims to do is empower teachers to learn and then to present their learning in fun ways and activities to their students. And so these could be students in a classroom setting. It could also be used for outdoor educators as well. And each module, there's basically kind of three main modules. And then within each of those three areas, there are three activities. And so we go from what is a tick, how do you identify a tick, to how do you be safe outside, to what is Lyme disease and what do you need to be aware of? So the resources are designed with a slide deck as well, so that if you are teaching with technology, you've got access to images. It was interesting for me to think of I want this to be something that people can use outside, but I want them also to be able to see images because there's so much that can happen when you see a tick and you see all the labeled parts and you see it up close. So that's why we have the visual side of it as well. So, and the activities are designed, with pedagogy around how to make them accessible to diverse learners and how to make them accessible with, different kinds of learners as well in terms of aesthetic or, visual learners. So there's those kinds of things were taken into account.
Yes, absolutely. I'm wondering if you can give us just one example of one of the activities that we've released in this first draft.
Oh, for sure. It would have been helpful if I had pulled that up earlier on my screen and I could take a look at that.
Although you have lived and breathed it for a few months now.
Yeah, definitely. So one of the resources is kind of a storyboarding activity where the students are going to plan a trip outside. And now that they have some background knowledge about ticks, and they know a little bit more about how to be safe in the outdoors, what are they going to do differently when they go out and explore? So using images of places where you might find ticks, the students have to storyboard. What are they going to do now equipped with the knowledge they have? So they have an opportunity to kind of like step-by-step storyboard how they're going to head out and explore and enjoy the outdoors while taking some safety precautions. Because, a tick check and, knowing where to hike, those kinds of things are some, little habits that we can build into just being that much more tick safe and tick aware.
I really think that's the idea, is we want people to be safe, not scared.
Exactly. Yeah, we got lots of stuff to distract us, and really we need to just stay focused on staying safe because we can enjoy the outdoors safely.
This Can Lyme initiative is funded by a generous anonymous donor, and we've named the project the LEAP Project for Lyme Education, Awareness, and Prevention. I'm just wondering if you could comment about those themes, in particular the awareness and the prevention that are embedded throughout this new resource.
Yeah, definitely. So basically, each of the modules have the 3 activities. So in total, 3 activities for each of the 3 categories. So 9 activities in total. And in each activity, there's something called the LEAP 5. And the LEAP 5 are the key takeaway points. So if the teacher wants to design a totally different activity because they are the experts with their students, they know their students best, we want to be able to provide them with some background information. Here's a slide deck that may or may not be useful. But at the end of the day, these are the LEAP 5 facts. These are the things that we really want the students to take away and understand. So we've used that nomenclature throughout the educator resource.
That's awesome. I love that you just dropped nomenclature into a sentence. That is brilliant. You must be a teacher.
Well, thank you for noticing.
As you worked through this, what was one of the most surprising things that you learned as you developed this resource?
Okay, this is not going to sound, this is maybe not where you're wanting to go with the answer. But one of the things that I found is that actually working with our graphic designer was one of the really cool, surprising things in this whole process, because I've seen resources where there's a lot of text, or it's just not presented in a visually appealing way. And as soon as I saw the drafted product, I was like, wow, that doesn't look, like that's amazing. That's something that I would totally pick up. And so it just adds that accessibility piece, that draw to the resource, and it really ties it together when you have, the right image with the right content. It's fascinating. And I'm going to take advantage of you, and I'm going to mention a second thing. And that second thing is being to work with the people that live and breathe tick and Lyme disease. So the second big takeaway I have from working on this project is just the courage and the knowledge that's out there, and the innovation and the dedication that all of the various people have, on the LEAP team, but also out there in the world. And it's really encouraging.
Thank you. And hey, let's give credit where credit is due, because Sherwin Arnott from Pink Sheep Media helped us pull this resource together and make it look fabulous. And I literally, when I opened it the first time, I cried, because it was just like, it's been years in the making of wanting to put a resource together. I mean, I'm a passionate outdoor experiential educator, and the thought of putting children in harm's way and not empowering the teachers who care for them and the parents, this knowledge needs to be out there. Prevention's the easiest thing, like let's just not even get into diagnosis and treatment. Let's just prevent the bites in the first place.
I'm 100% on board with you on that. And I think that that's also, even in the podcasts, the Looking at Lyme previous podcasts, that was what the experts were saying. Prevention is the key. And so if this can even prevent a handful of people from getting ill, I would be so grateful for that.
Absolutely. Well, I think we've already achieved that. So I'm thankful for that. And let's just hope we keep spreading that message and keep people healthy. For sure. So to get the science perspective, we worked a lot with Justin Wood from Genetics. And what did you learn working with Justin through this experience?
Well, Justin is a wealth of knowledge. And, we would be going over some facts. So I want to say this, Justin, is this how you would say it? And he just had the utmost respect for what I was trying to go for with getting the message across. And he also was able to do that by honoring the science, by saying, well, Lauren, how about you write it this way? So I really appreciated that. I think people need to know the facts. And we want to say things clearly, and we don't want to put any misinformation out there. So, if it seems insignificant, the word choice can make a difference. So, Justin was just so attentive to that, and with his wealth of knowledge, really added that scientific, clarity to what we were trying to do.
Now, I know we developed this resource with the idea that we wanted it to align with some of the curriculum. We started with the British Columbia curriculum so that it is part of, the school day. Can you see how, though, this resource can be adapted and used for people that are outdoor guides or camp counselors, other people that might be responsible for taking children into the outdoor classroom?
Our health, whatever the nomenclature, there I said it again, whatever terminology is used across the country for kind of that health aspect, personal safety and health, or sometimes it's health and career education. There is a way in the provincial curricula to have this work align. And I think in terms of informal education with outdoor learning experiences, or learning outfits, I think there's definitely a way for them to be able to use the material as well. Perhaps it's, the leaders read up some of the resources embedded in the resource, and then they present it in a way that works for them in the outdoor environment. So, one of the activities was designed with some things that could be printed out. You could circle around the campfire and have some of the images printed out for one of the activities, a See, Think, Wonder activity, and get kind of that conversation started. So it doesn't have to be in a classroom setting. There are definitely some parts of it that are more, built around the classroom setting, but take it outside as well. Let's do that.
So for anyone looking for more information, they can go to our podcast website, which is lookingatlyme, lyme.ca for Canada. And you can go there and you will see a link in the top right corner that says Educator Resource. And one of the invitations we're putting out there for not just classroom teachers, but also, guides, anyone involved in outdoor education, anyone who's taking young people in the outdoors, and parents even. We would love to have you join our focus groups. We'll have 2 focus groups in the new year, and we would love to have people join us. So they can just email us at canlymeeducation@gmail.com, and we'll send you more information about that. So I just want to make sure people know that opportunity is there. And once we get that feedback, we'll release our next new and improved, longer version that will come out in the spring of 2021. I'm curious. I know you've shared this with a few of your teachers. Have you had any feedback from your friends who are teachers?
Not yet. Just in terms of thanks for the resource, looking forward to getting into it. I think December is a busy time for teachers. But I think definitely, people are grateful to have some information. It's nice to have one place to have compiled expertise from a variety of areas. So I know that just having that in the back pocket is really helpful, because then they know when the time is right to where to go to get it.
Well, I know in your current work, you're doing a lot of work outdoors around, mostly along the seashore, and teaching young people about oceans education. So just maybe a comment about teaching in the outdoor classroom and what that opportunity brings to young people.
With the climate crisis, with the current state of the world, the concept of being outside, being connected, having respect, taking action, these are all becoming words that we are more and more familiar with. And I think, we need this. We absolutely need to see that we are not above nature, that we are part of her, and that when we are connected, when we create a personal and lasting connection, we care for it. And when we care for it, everyone benefits. So the more that we are able to promote being outside, being connected, seeing the world, and seeing our part in it, the better off the world is going to be for future generations. So when you hear about Lyme disease and, you hear about tick bites and how sick it can make people, and it can make people incredibly sick, it breaks your heart. And you want people to be able to do this good thing of connecting to nature while also staying safe. So the motto of stay safe in the outdoors, I know that I probably just stole your thunder, Sarah. You were going to say that at the end. That's really what this is all about.
Thank you. Those closing words are absolutely perfect. And, we also really care about you, and we're just so grateful to have had you join our team and work with us on this project. So thank you for all that you do, Lauren. That was such a great interview, and it's just such a privilege to work with Lauren on this project. I really think the key takeaway there is just that we want people to be safe in the outdoors. So be safe and don't be scared. Be informed. Please use this resource, and please engage with us and give us feedback so we can continue to improve it and meet your needs. That's another podcast on Looking at Lyme. I'm Sarah Cormode, and as always, remember, stay safe in the outdoors.